Salvete omnes, welcome to this grammar lesson for Chapter 7, Capitulum Septimum, and we're going to look at the dative case here. Dativus is dative in Latin. It comes from the verb dot, which means gives. This case is often used in sentences where we're giving, showing, or telling something to somebody. Another way to translate the dative besides saying to is to use for. So you do something to or for a person, that will be dative case. Also, I should note, like I could say in English, I give a book to you, but that's the same thing as saying I give you a book. So sometimes just by putting what would be the dative in Latin after the verb but before the direct object, that does the same thing in English. So in English, we don't really have a dative case. We either use word order or we will use the word order position that I just mentioned by putting it between the verb and the direct object, or we'll use to or for. Now let's look at some examples. Masculinum, masculine. Julius servo suro malum dat. Julius gives an apple, malum, that's accusative, direct object, to his slave Cyrus. Okay, and that's the dative. Suro, servo, and suro are both dative. Julius servis mala dat. Julius gives apples to the slaves. Servis is the dative plural. And notice in parentheses it's explaining the slaves are here Cyrus and Leander. Servo dativus singularis est. It's a dative singular. Servis est dativus pluralis. It's the dative plural. Singularis o, pluralis is. So for masculine nouns that you know right now, these are second declension masculine nouns. We'll learn more about that later. You get an O dative singular and an is dative plural ending. Femininum, feminine examples. Julius ancilai sirai malum dat. Julius gives an apple to the maidservant Sira. Julius ancilis mala dat. He gives apples to the maidservants, ancilis plural. And of course that's Sira and Delia. Ancilai est dativus singularis, dative singular. Ancilis dativus pluralis, dative plural. Singularis I, so that's the singular ending dative, which by the way looks also like a genitive, but the context tells you want to say the to translation. Pluralis is, okay, that looks like the ablative, but again, context tells you what to do. All right, last set of examples. Neutrum, neuter. Fluvius opido aquam dat. The river gives water to the town. Okay, opido to the town, dative. Fluvii opidis aquam dat. The rivers give water to the towns. Okay, opidis plural. Opido dativus singularis est, dative singular. Opidis dativus pluralis, dative plural. Singularis o, pluralis is. Now, if we look back, masculine and neuter have the same endings. O for the dative singular, to a person or a thing. Is for the plural, to persons or things, right? And then feminine, the plural is the same as the other two genders, right? The is ending works for dative and ablative plural, always. And then the I ending is different, right? So the AE spelling, which is pronounced I, that is different from the masculine and neuter. Well, I hope that made sense. I hope you learned a little bit about it. Again, dative is the give, show, or tell to case. So to or for are the prepositions used for translating it. Although sometimes you can just use word order. For example, again, I could say, he gives a book to her. And the to her would be a dative in Latin. Or I could say, he gives her a book. And her, because we placed it between gives and book, that makes it the indirect object, which in Latin would be dative case. All right, valete, till next time.